Janine, the school is now cleared and it's safe for students again. But this afternoon, a note and a suspicious package had everyone on high alert.
CTV's Trina Moss is at the prison and she spoke with Martin. Trina, what did she have to say?
Nancy, Brenda Martin was elated. After 2 years, 2 months, and 22 days, she walked out of this prison free. Martin spent over 2 years in a Mexican jail accused of internet fraud. Last month, she was convicted in Mexico of money laundering and sentenced to 5 years in jail. She was transferred back to Canada to the Grand Valley Institute for Women just over a week ago. Now, under Canadian law, she was eligible for parole because she's already served 1/3 of her time.
Canadians that have been behind me and supported me and my family.
I'm sure you can tell us from your own experience there that the fire was just one problem. The bitterly cold temperatures also very difficult for the firefighters to work in.
Oh, Peter, extremely difficult. I'm told it's minus 35 degrees out here right now with the wind chill, and the winds are really gusting right now. Already, I know the fire chief told me a couple of firefighters had to be treated for frostbite. Some sustained minor injuries after slipping on the ice.
Flames tear through this trailer park in the St. Charles area late this afternoon. Firefighters work quickly to contain the blaze while residents watch in horror.
The flames were coming out of the roof of the one house, and then all of a sudden, this trailer here that you see caught on fire.
Thick black smoke could be seen billowing high in the air. Before crews could get the fire under control, 3 homes were destroyed. Initial damage estimate is pegged around $800,000. The fire chief says no one was home at the time of the blaze, so no one was hurt as a direct result of the fire. However, several firefighters are being treated for frostbite, and some sustained minor injuries after falling on the ice. While officials described the fire as stubborn, it was the weather that proved to be the biggest challenge.
It's cold, dense air. It's exacerbating the spread of the fire, but also it's penetrating the people working on it, and they're freezing up. Their equipment is freezing, and their bodies are freezing up. They're getting covered in ice, so it's pretty hard to work.
With the wind chill temperatures hovered around minus 35, firefighters worked in shifts to prevent any serious weather-related injuries. But this isn't the first time a serious fire has erupted in the Downs Village trailer park. One resident told Global News there have been at least 3 in the past year, and this home had to be rebuilt after flames tore through it 2 years ago. Fortunately, no one was hurt in this afternoon's blaze, but 3 cats perished. Trina Moss, Global News. 1-year-old Ava has tumbled a few times learning how to walk, but it was a fall in the summer that gave her parents the fright of their lives.
She just started screaming, and I have never heard her scream like that before.
Ava became wedged between her crib and the floor when a bracket holding her guardrail broke. Fortunately, the toddler wasn't seriously hurt. Storkcraft Manufacturing sent the family replacement parts for the crib. Now a different safety recall by Health Canada has Nicole Major once again outraged.
Now to hear that another part, something totally separate, can actually harm her again, I just have lost all trust with the name brand.
The voluntary recall affects almost 500,000 Storkcraft cribs made between May 2000 and November 2008. Apparently, the brackets used to support the mattress frame can crack and break if stress is put on them during installation. If a bracket breaks, the mattress could collapse and create a dangerous gap between the mattress and the crib rails. Health Canada says a child could become trapped and suffocate. So far, there have been 10 complaints, but no injuries. Health Canada is advising parents to check these brackets on the recalled cribs. If there's any cause for concern, you're to stop using the crib immediately and find an alternative place for your baby to sleep. Then contact Storkcraft for replacement parts. Nicole says if incorrect installation caused the original problem, then just sending out replacement parts is not the answer.
If they're sending the parts to us, how are we to know that we're doing it properly?
She says parents should have the option to return the cribs for a full refund. Health Canada says the beds meet current safety standards. The widespread recall has been issued as an added safeguard. Trina Moss, Global News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Stranded and forced to sleep in a train. Via Rail passengers heading westward were stopped in Winnipeg today because of a labor dispute between the train company and its operators.
I suffer from claustrophobia, and I can't get on a plane or a bus. It's too small, and I feel very cooped up. I get very sick.
And there's not a lot
Lila Bruce and her family are now trying to figure out how to get home. They were told the train would not go any further than Winnipeg.
News Final.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Police divers in Winnipeg continue to search the Red River for the body of a missing 20-year-old Brandon man. While police are saying little, late this afternoon, his family made a desperate call to the media with the hopes someone knows where their son is. The family identified the man as Braden Anderson. According to the RCMP, Anderson works in Brandon but traveled to Steinbach for a family reunion. He was last seen early Saturday morning at a lounge in Winnipeg's Exchange District. Winnipeg police called in divers to search the Red River after some of his personal belongings, including his wallet, were found near the river bank. Police are treating Anderson's disappearance as suspicious. And the family released this picture of Anderson. He's approximately 6'2" tall, 200 pounds with an athletic build. The fate of Vince Lee is now up to a judge. The trial of the man who beheaded another passenger on a Greyhound bus in Manitoba last year wrapped up after 2 days of testimony. The judge must now decide if Lee should go to jail or a mental health facility. Global's Nicole Dubé has the details. More than a dozen Winnipeg school children were sent to hospital after the bus they were on rolled over, and the driver is facing charges. It happened at about 10:30 this morning. Good evening. The hunt is on for a bank robber in Cambridge. A man apparently walked into the Canada Trust on Hespeler Road, told the teller he had a gun, and ran off with a bag of money.
Instead of banking this evening, TD customers were met by an officer telling them the bank is closed.
Good evening. Holiday travel got back on track today, at least for Via Rail passengers. But on the road, it was a whole different story.
A burnt-out shell is all that's left of this Yamaha motorcycle.
It was a very violent collision. Again, a head-on with a motorcycle and a pickup truck. It was a terrible collision.
The impact so intense, the female passenger on the bike was thrown over a fence and almost 50 feet from the wreckage. She was killed instantly, along with the male driver.
The driver of the GMC pickup truck was originally taken to hospital with minor cuts and bruises. When he got there, it was determined he had severe internal injuries and is now listed in critical condition.
All police know at this time is the vehicles were traveling in an opposite direction on Highway 53 near the Brantford Airport. Somehow they slammed head-on. Investigators are now trying to determine if one of the vehicles was pulling out to pass at the time.
Our technical traffic collision investigators are here. They're piecing it all together, and they'll have a reasonable idea in the next few days of what exactly happened.
This man on the left, his wife called 911 after she and her children saw it all happen from their backyard. Other neighbors say this stretch of the road is more like a racetrack, and many drivers go over the speed limit. Police are still trying to determine if speed was a factor in this devastating crash. Strength, stamina,
really intense. 5, 6 days a week.
And dedication.
There you go.
I don't think they come any more dedicated than him.
And that's why Waterloo firefighter Dwayne Drover is the top-ranked Canadian in the Firefighter Combat Challenge.
He's a big, strong guy, and yet he's quick on his feet, you know, and it takes that combination.
This year, the 31-year-old completed the course in 1 minute and 18 seconds.
I want to break the record. 1:17 is my ultimate goal this year.
And he has the chance to do that at the Canadian Championships being held this Labor Day long weekend in Halifax.
There is pressure. There's a lot of people gunning for you.
Dwayne says he would not be so successful if it wasn't for the support from his family and other firefighters constantly pushing him. Don Barron, Dwayne's workout partner, is ranked second in Canada in the over 50 category.
We got a good team, camaraderie, you know, we train hard together, so that helps.
Let's go, come on, quick feet, come on.
Both say the competition makes them better firefighters. Not only does it keep them in top physical shape, each event simulates what firefighters face in the real world. Dwayne and Don will leave for Halifax Wednesday, both looking to bring home a gold medal. Trina Moss, CTV News, Waterloo.
And if you want that bowl of mac and cheese, well, you'll have to play 30 minutes of pro football just to wear off the calories. However, nutritionalists say watching the game shouldn't be that hard.
We're just about to enter a building that's on fire. I'm told temperatures inside can exceed 400 degrees.